A meeting is scheduled to take place between the National Director of Public Prosecutions in Eswatini and lawyers for the two men arrested for the murder of Keenan, aka Forbes, and Tibz Motswane. Siyabonga and Malusi Ndimande are also wanted for the murder of two other people in Durban between February and March last year. They are expected to appear at the Manzini Magistrates Court tomorrow. Their lawyer says that the matter is likely to be postponed as he might need more time to consult with his clients. All right, let's stay with the story and speak to SABC News reporter Nhlanhla Jele, who is in Mbabane in Eswatini for us and joins us live now. Nhlanhla, thank you so much for your time. I mean, what do we know about this particular meeting, if at all?
Good evening to you, Bongiwe, and to our viewers at home. Indeed, when we met with the lawyer, he did indicate that today he is expecting to get the comprehensive application for the extradition process so that they can start. Remember, they appeared already last week on Monday, and they were furnished with a provisional application. So today we are expecting that they met. We are, however, unable to reach him on his cell phone. He did mention to us that he might be quite busy because he needs time to go through the whole report. And also the issue of postponement comes in the sense that depending on what is contained in that report, then the clients will advise that the matter can be postponed or the matter can continue, the application rather can continue, and then the two men will be extradited back to South Africa where they're expected to face these charges. Remember, they are facing 6 counts, 4 counts of murder, 1 of attempted murder, and 1 conspiracy to commit murder. These are charges which are in the charge sheet that we were furnished with when we came to Eswatini and started inquiring and asking. We also went around, obviously, and checked where they lived when they first came here. We understand that, and in March, when they committed this last crime, which is in this charge sheets that we have in our possession, they moved to Eswatini in May, where they lived with their neighbors, who the neighbors were telling us that when they introduced themselves, they came and said they are the Nkosi brothers and not the Ndimande brothers. So they lived with them. Shared meat, shared everything that neighbors do and share as they live together on a daily basis. They were friendly people. They gelled with community members. They took walks. They would go out hunting for birds and come back. They would chill, listen to Maskandi music. They were also told that they're in Eswatini because one of the brothers is here for initiation to be a Sangoma. So those are some of the things that we are picking up as we go around asking people and being shown where they actually lived. We also understand that the neighbors were shocked. One of the neighbors was saying to us that she told her partner that she can't believe that these are the same people who are wanted for these crimes when they heard of the arrest, because they couldn't believe it because of how they were living with these two guys, the brothers, the Ndimande brothers. So these are some of the things that we are picking up. We are expecting them, obviously, to make their second appearance tomorrow at the Manzini Magistrates Court, where obviously this process is expected to begin, and depending on what is contained in that application, a postponement may be granted or the process will continue. Bongiwe?
And Nhlanhla, one of the things, of course, that we've been in fact, a lot of people quite confused about is the fact that last week we're speaking to police and they're telling us that they were in the country illegally. But when you speak to the reporter who broke the story, saying that that matter of a contravention of the Immigration Act is not in the charge sheet, which then could also mean that if it is added, does it become a straight deportation, or do we continue to see this process of extradition? What are we hearing in that regard?
That's true, Bongi. We actually also inquired about that to have the lawyer explain to us the difference between deportation and extradition. The lawyer did say to us, of course, they were arrested on those charges of being in the country illegally. However, an agreement was reached and that matter was not placed in the charge sheet, which we have currently, so that the process of extradition can happen. Remember, with the deportation, you pay a fine. You agree that you're guilty, and then you pay a fine, and then the country which is deporting you can drop you at a no man's land between the two borders, meaning from there they can disappear, meaning South African police will still have to look for them, and already a warrant of arrest has been issued in South Africa and another warrant of arrest has been issued in Eswatini. So those we also have in our possession. When it comes to the issue of extradition, which is what we are expecting the process to start tomorrow, we do know that is an agreement between the two states to say these are the people, we have arrested them on the charges that you brought forward from your country, and then we are agreeing that we are going to bring them back to you, and then they make a certain arrangement to have them back in the country where they face these charges. Also, in this case, we do know that it's not a deportation. They are not going to court for a deportation application, but an extradition application. Hence, these charges of being in the country, being in Eswatini, were not added to these charges. Bongiwe?
Quite an interesting development there, and Nhlanhla will continue to monitor it through your eyes. Thank you very much for that update. That's my colleague there, Nhlanhla Jele, SABC News reporter, who is in Mbabane in Eswatini for us. This is ahead of that court appearance tomorrow, so we will bring you more on it as soon as, of course, it happens in the morning. Lots being said when it comes to this particular application, so it'll be interesting to see which way it goes and whether or not that postponement is granted.